So, is it true what they say about the Asians?
What do they say about the Asians?
Enlighten us.
Is it true what they say about the Asians?
I'm a little lost here. You're gonna have to elaborate.
I want to get into y'all sex life.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
How's the sex life? Is it like, because there's a big stigma where it's like if you go black, you don't go back. You know that slogan, and then like
Okay, so several things.
Okay.
Justin and I were each other's firsts.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so cute. You guys are like
It's like
literally.
ideal couple. Ooh, whatever. Nah. So I mean, I guess technically I never went black.
Mind over matter is magic. I do magic. No emo, no lie. Mind over matter is magic. I do magic. No emo, no lie. Mind over matter is magic. I do magic. No emo, no lie. Mind over matter is magic. I do magic. No emo, you think of that. Mind over matter is magic. I do magic.
Welcome
Hi. Is that
to
how
Mind Over Matter, baby. I'm your host, DEJA Wallace, and if this is your first time joining me, welcome. If this is not your first time joining me, welcome back. I appreciate you. You real, you loyal. Shout out to you. You my dog for real. Like, you came back to listen to another episode of Mind Over Matter, baby. Episode 48 of Mind Over Matter. And today we got some big guests in the building.
I'm already.
I told them to cover my neck. I'm really like not digging this.
I'm gonna go ahead and let them introduce themselves. As you can see, they're ready to introduce themselves.
I am Shawntel, and this is.
My name is Justin.
We are a couple. We've been together for 10, going on 11 years
God,
now.
that sound more awkward.
Yeah, as awkward as I can get it. I'm dying to leave you. I'm kidding.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow.
That a little bit too much.
Oh my God. Wow. It's all
Let's
coming
reel
out.
it back in, guys. So how did you guys meet?
You go right ahead.
Wait, I want to let the people know what we're getting into before they actually get comfortable, and get
yeah.
their snacks, and get into the episode.
Uh-huh.
On today's episode, we're going to be talking about interracial relationships, dating. We're going to be talking about marriage, interracial relationships, family, how your family reacted to each other. We're going to be talking about religion, your sex life,
Okay.
and just like the political economic state of the world.
Oh,
Damn.
getting deep.
Yeah.
A lot
With
more
like
than I
the
signed up
Asian
for.
hate and the BLM. Black Lives Matter. I'm going to say the whole
Black
thing.
Lives Matter.
So yeah, we're going to talk about all of that on today's episode of Mind Over Matter. So kick back, relax, and now let's get into it. How did you guys meet?
We met. So it's funny because we went to the same high school, but we didn't meet in that school. We met in summer school. So we went to Brooklyn Tech and we met in summer school at Stuyvesant. And it was our first time. It was my first time in summer school. Was it your first time?
Nah, total delink. No. Yeah, first time.
Yeah. So it was a complete coincidence. And we had all the same friends. All of our friends knew each other. So it was really only a matter of time before we met. And also, we were both dating other people when we first met.
Yeah.
And I thought he was a creep. I thought he was going to stalk me home.
Oh my God. Here we go again with this. Okay, so here's what really happened.
Right.
So at the time in summer school, we were both dating other people. We didn't even know each other existed at the time.
Yeah.
And then there was one day where we did finally meet because our friend groups kind of like merged together and everybody was hanging out. And I had to head home. She had to head home. And I had to take the 2 train to get to Atlantic and then take the N. And I think you were taking the 2 train at the time.
I was taking the 3 train.
Was it the 3?
Yeah, and you told me you were going to take the 2, and I was like, okay, cool. So we walked to the station together, but then he gets on the 3 with me because he realized the 3 also goes to Atlantic. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
How long is he going to stay? And at that time, I could tell he had a crush on me already. Now, this is the first time we met, and I am dating someone else.
Okay.
He told me
Different story, Justin.
he told me he liked me from that first day. So I would like to hear.
No.
if you have-
No.
Okay.
I did not say that.
When?
When did I not say that? I don't know. When did I not say that? No, literally. Yeah. Okay. So we ended up on the same train together.
Right.
And she thought that I was going to take the train all the way home with her, I guess. I had to get off at Atlantic so I could take the N. There was like no other stop before that where I was able to board the N.
Now, this is true, but I didn't know the trains at the time. So I was just like scared shitless.
Yeah, I
You
was.
thought he was following you?
Yeah. Because I had friends. No, I had male friends previously follow me home
Oh,
in
that's
middle
messed
school.
up. That's like a
It was
thing.
really messed up. So, and then they tried to like break into my house when I opened my door. It was, anyways, coming off of that now, meeting him. And at the time, he had like long hair and like this really scraggly beard. And
You had a beard in high school?
yeah.
I was.
It wasn't full.
I was. Yeah, no, it was like some patchy ass ugly shit. It was so gross. Like I had like long hair, like way longer than this. I had like a patchy ass beard.
Yeah,
I
he
look
like a scrub. It was,
I looked like it was like my first time shaving, but I never shaved. It was bad.
but he
So
missed it.
What made you like
Actually,
attracted?
we didn't meet again until we were actually in school that next year. We had like 3 classes together. And by that time, we had both broken up with the other people we were dating. And I was like, I can talk to him. I was planning to be single for that whole year. 3 months later,
Oh yeah.
we start dating because I realized he's just a joker. He's charming and funny. And I was like, God damn it. I wanted to live my best whole life that year. My best single life. New year, new me, all that jazz.
So this is like all through high school you guys were with each other? Or?
half of high school.
Half
So
of
this
it.
was
Yeah.
like sophomore year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
We started dating.
yeah, sophomore year we met.
No.
Summer school after sophomore year, and
Junior
then
year.
junior year. Yeah.
Junior year, we started dating 2011.
So what made you, so you were attracted to his personality and
Yeah.
just his humor and what made you like want to
At
pursue
the time,
her?
I just thought she was super pretty. But I don't know. As we started dating more, like she started opening up a lot more, and her personality was very attractive. So I kind of got the whole package right there. So, yeah, no, but literally every time she tells the story, she always has to add the, "Oh my god, he was such a creep. He took the train with me, and then he was talking about like pissing out his fingers or whatever."
Oh yeah, we
What?
had a stupid. I forgot the most important part. So on the train, right, we have this stupid conversation because we were like in high school. We're all making like sex jokes and shit and making weird comments about like, what if you ejaculated out of other parts of your body that you're not.
Okay,
Right?
It's
Right?
a lot worse.
But I then forgot who he was until we met again in our school and we like had a class together and he's like, "Hey, remember me?" And I was like, "Who the frick are you?"
Hey, remember
Did he
me?
still have the beard or he looked different or something?
I don't remember at all. But he was like, "Yeah, we had that conversation, you remember?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, you were really weird."
Remember me, the guy that got on your train and tried to follow you home, but you caught on, so I had to get off. Yeah,
Yeah, that guy. I
Yeah.
remember you. What's up?
very cringe.
But by that time, like, we had other friends hanging out with us.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, okay, we have chaperoned interactions now, right? So it's safe for me to
got
hang out with
witnesses to
him.
witness.
Witnesses, exactly.
Yeah.
And other people going on the same train, same station. And then our school Brooklyn Tech was a lot closer to Atlantic, so I didn't have to worry about him getting on my train. So I was like, oh, he wasn't actually following me. He just goes to it. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So like the environment in Brooklyn Tech, that's a school like a very prestigious high school that everybody like aspires to go to when they're in middle school, because that's basically like where all the smart kids go. Like
It is one of the specialized high schools.
yes,
It is prestigious from the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
And then like if you do say you go to Brooklyn Tech, it's a whole thing in New York where they're like, oh my God, she's so smart.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
basically saying you're a lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a very like high perception of Brooklyn Tech. They're like, oh my God, it's a specialized high school, and
Yeah.
apparently it's like, what, it was like number 2 at the time, like just under Stye, or like 3 or something.
2 or 3. Something
Yeah,
like that.
but like it has like this very prestigious name to it, and then you like get in there and it's just like a fucking monkey fest.
Yeah,
like,
it's a
just-
regular high
It's
school.
a regular
Yeah.
public
Like
high
we're a little bit better at math. That's about it.
Oh my
It's
God.
an engineering school, so of course they're gonna really like push math courses and
Right.
science courses, and I appreciated that because I hadn't previously been challenged in my other classes. I miss those
But
days.
that school is like a predominantly Asian school, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like when I was in high school personally, I feel like a lot of high schools are like this. Like it's segregated. Like the black kids are with the black kids, the Asian kids are with the Asian kids, you know, the white kids are with the white kids. It's pretty segregated in public schools in New York City. And you
Yeah.
could really see that distinction. So what made you guys even like did you see that in your high school?
Probably. I didn't. First of all, Brooklyn Tech is massive. There's easily 5,000 students
Yeah.
in attendance.
Which is
so
wild.
it can. For me, I don't pay attention very often.
Like
so
in like if you were to go to the cafeteria, would you see like
Right.
certain groups of kids hanging out with
You
certain group of
would,
kids?
but I made my friend group through the anime club, which was
Okay.
really, really, really mixed. So my experience with Brooklyn Tech was very mixed.
Yeah, no, I can definitely say the same as well. There was definitely a lot of segregation in the school. Like there were a lot of like Asians that hung out with Asians. There were black kids that hung out with black kids.
Yeah, mostly.
They all kind of like stuck to what they
They
saw
knew.
as like a norm to them or
Yeah.
something. But no, there were definitely like the groups of students that like really kind of like opened up their minds and kind of like went out to hang out with like other people of different cultures, different skin colors. Like it, yeah, no, they bonded over like other things.
Yeah.
Like not just culture, skin color, shit like that.
Yeah.
A lot of it was anime. Not gonna lie. I feel like Anime Club just went out and kind of like just grabbed people
Yeah.
like fucking Jehovah Witnesses. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Low key.
But yeah, no, they got together through different things. I didn't really deal with a lot of it. I just had like a very like diverse group of friends. So
So even like in my school, it wasn't much diversity. It was predominantly black, but like the few Spanish kids, like if it was 2 Mexican kids, they would be going out. You know what I mean? Like if there was a female and a male, they would go out.
yeah,
And I feel like it's just because they didn't have that much options. You know what I mean? And they related. It's easy to relate when somebody looks like you.
yeah.
So did you feel at times pressured to, stay and date within your race, especially when you were in high school? Because like I said, it's a predominantly Asian
Yeah.
school. So did you feel pressured to like date within your race?
Me, no, not really. I never really felt pressured to have to like date somebody within like a certain like race. I don't know. It was just like if I like the person, I like the person kind of thing. Yeah, there were like a hell of a lot of Asians there. A lot of them were kind of like, I don't know. They were all like squeaky and tiny and kind
Yeah.
of like I don't know. They were too much for me.
You needed something a little bit more robust.
Yeah, I needed something outside my norm.
A little bit more junk in the
like,
trunk.
Not saying
As
that I
they say.
wouldn't have gone out with an Asian, but like I was open to dating, other races, like just anybody.
And how did your family like receive that when you came home with a black girl?
Okay, so here's the thing right now. A little bit of spicy information. Currently only my dad knows that
That
I'm
we're
dating
dating.
her. And this was a recent thing. He did not know for the first 7 years,
8, yeah.
7, 8 years. Yeah.
And why was that?
My mom and my dad, they're like very traditional Koreans. My
They
mom
also,
more than my dad.
They also don't really speak a whole lot of English. Like they ran businesses, but they would prefer someone who knows the language and culture that they can
course, yeah.
relate to, which
Yeah.
makes sense.
They also, uh, they, a lot of the times they will tell me that they also did not have very positive interactions with people outside of like the Korean race. Like my dad mentioned that back when he like first came to America, there was an instance where he was waiting for the train to get to work, and then a group of, I don't remember if it was like Hispanic or, like black kids. They like basically like tried to mug him of his like money and belongings. He didn't. It was like one of those outdoor stations, like the ones that are under, like the N train. So he literally like jumped down from the platform and then ran across to the other side, and then ran back up the stairs and told the whoever was in the booth at the time.
Dang, I've never heard this story.
Yeah, it's not a story that I tell often, or at all, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, my mom also did not have very positive interactions with people outside of Korean as well. So to them, it was kind of more like I think it's more like a safety thing, and also cultural. Like, of course, like if you're born and raised in Korea, you're kind of expected to, marry a Korean girl. But I feel like when they came to America, that mindset never really changed. So they're still like, okay, you're a Korean guy, so you should date and marry a Korean girl. But it wasn't until recently that I feel like my dad kind of became more open to the idea of me dating someone else, not Korean.
Yeah.
My mom is still kind of like in that box, though.
We're
So
working on her.
yeah, I've been like hinting at the idea that I'm currently dating Shawntel. Like, I'll talk about Shawntel a lot to my mom, to open her up to the idea. Like
Hype me up.
try and try and get her to be like, oh, okay, Shawntel seems like a nice enough girl, and Justin speaks very highly of her, so she will be someone I'd be okay with. Is it working? Fuck if I know. But
Yeah.
I'd like to think that it's working.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that that's what they had to experience. Like,
Yeah.
so is that like the reason like you don't talk about like your relationship as much with them because of that interaction?
Mostly. But at this point, I'm kind of like at a point in my life where I'm like, I have to start making decisions for myself. I can't like have them dictate like what exact. Okay.
I'm giving
I
you
can't.
support.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, they like eventually like, I hate to say it, but like they're not going to be around forever. And eventually I have to start deciding for myself whether or not it's like something that I want to do, or if it's something that I'm doing just to make them happy. So, like it sucks. Like I'm sure they're not like super stoked about it, but I'm not marrying them.
Live
So-
your exactly.
This is
Live
true.
your best life. Live your truth.
Yeah.
Because eventually they're gonna come around once they see like you're actually happy and you're actually all about Shawntel.
Yeah.
They're gonna come around.
Precisely.
What about your family, Shawntel?
So backtracking a little bit, I had no intentions of dating outside of my race. I fully intended to marry a black man, and he just kind of snuck up on me and then punched me right in the heart, and it was really rude, frankly.
Wow.
Yeah,
Make
it was
me sound like an
violent.
abuser.
You are. It's abusive. No.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and my mom and my dad took a really long time to come around, but I told them pretty much right. They met you in high school.
Yeah.
Because they met you by my senior year. So probably the next year after a year of dating. Because there, you know, like there's high school dating and then there's like actual dating. Like when you're like doing little flings and it's cute and you go to like the deli together before school and you call that dating. But like by senior year, it's like, oh, we're about to start real life. So it's like, I'm pretty serious about him. This is going to come up later, but we've been discussing marriage basically since the start of our relationship.
Wow.
So we
that's
went in with those
beautiful.
intentions.
That is different. No, for real. That
Yeah.
would scare a lot of men away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's my litmus test. I wasn't looking for anything but a husband. So
See, that's my mindset too. Like when
Yeah.
I'm dating, like I kind of want a husband, but I don't want to say that
Pointless.
because they're gonna run away.
Yeah.
So leave. What the hell? You don't waste my time. I'm
That-
not gonna waste yours. Don't waste mine.
I feel like with dating though, that's like you only get two options if you're dating. It's either you break up or you get married. So I don't see.
You break up or you stay together. You
Yeah.
don't have to get married.
Yeah, you stay. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. Eventually, I feel like it just gets to like.
You might as well be married.
Yeah.
I have a question from a live audience member.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know: do you spend a lot of time around her family,
Um.
and how do they make you feel?
I was just getting to that. Ooh.
Yeah. So I do spend a lot of time with them.
He's
All right.
been-
Well, not like often, not like a
Right.
weekly thing, but like they will ask if I want to come out to like a family gathering or like like a holiday meal.
He's
or,
been to funerals, Christmases,
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
I've seen you around. This is my cousin, by the way. If y'all didn't
Yeah.
know, shout out to my cousin.
What's up? Yeah, my family loves Justin, and they always ask about him.
I'd hope so.
Mom, I was getting to mom and dad. They at first expected it to like fizzle out and be like puppy love kind of thing, but they're like, it has been so damn long and he's still here. So like,
Literally, when I told my mom that I was gonna interview you, and I was like Shawntel and her boyfriend, she was like, "Oh, she's still with the Asian guy." I'm like, "Yes,
yes,
still with him."
Yeah.
she's still with him. It's like, wow, they've been together forever.
wow.
right.
Yeah.
So we naturally get the when's the marriage happening question a lot, or when are the kids?
But how do you feel around the family?
Very comfortable. They've all been very accepting. I get along pretty great with everybody.
Oh, he loves Uncle Bruce.
Uncle
Oh,
Bruce.
yeah, he's
oh
so
my
cool.
god, I love Uncle Bruce. Literally, what is it? At the wedding.
At
one of the
mom's wedding.
Yeah, at mom's wedding.
At my mom, she got remarried.
Me and Uncle Bruce, oh man, we like talked the whole day. We like went out. I tried to get him smoothies for my job at the time, but
yeah.
like we couldn't get any.
Yeah.
That kind of sucked. But
Yeah.
Uncle Bruce is great. I have a hard time remembering everybody in the family though.
Yeah,
a
me too. I still can't remember
Thank
some
you.
of their names.
Yeah,
I was
like-
calling my cousins different names.
I feel real bad every time because they're like, "Hey, Justin," I'm like,
Right. It's easy to remember you because you're
yeah.
so different. Everybody in our family is Jamaican.
yeah.
So we.
And it's like 10 people that start with D. We
Yeah.
have like 10 D
I-
names in our family.
yeah.
And it's like,
It's a lot.
you
It's a
couldn't think
lot.
of a different letter to name
No.
your kids?
Apparently, that's the family heirloom. They didn't have like riches, so they're like, okay, everybody gets the letter D.
Yeah. For real.
D for dollar bill.
Dollar bills. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a blessing.
Yeah, it's like a blessing. Yeah,
Yeah.
in the name. Right.
Yeah. What about religion? How do you guys, because for me personally, if I'm in a relationship with somebody and they were to tell me like they're atheist, it's over. Like,
Okay.
like no, like that's a friend zone. You're my brother now. I cannot do that. So how do you feel about religion?
I used to be a pretty big religious kid.
Me too. I used to be.
I went to church every Sunday with my mom, held her hand with my little tiny kindergartner hands.
Me with grandma.
Yeah, I went to like the same church for like 20 something years now.
Same check.
I don't know. Eventually though, the religious like belief in me kind of like fizzled out. Not necessarily because of like anything that happened, but it's kind of just like I don't want to like go too deep into that, but
Right, yeah.
like it had a time. It
Yeah.
kind of ended for me.
Yeah,
Will it
same
come back? Who knows? Maybe. But
Yeah.
for right now.
It's not that we're not like It's not that we don't believe in God, but it's just like religion isn't a big part of our lives at the moment.
Yeah, no.
But we have visited each other's churches where we grew up, and that was interesting because that was the first time I had been to a church outside of like a Jamaican Pentecostal church. Your church is, I believe, Presbyterian.
Yeah, like a Korean Presbyterian church.
Korean Presbyterian. So there's sermons in Korean and in English. I went to one of the youth sermons because this was back like high school, just out of high school.
Yeah, it was still pretty early.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically how my church
Years
worked
I had
was...
gone over. Yeah. Sorry.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to like talk over you. But yeah, so basically how my church worked was there is the Korean ministry and then there's the English ministry. The English ministry was kind of more for like the kids up until college, you know, like people who were like, who spoke English as their primary language, basically. So yeah, I invited her out to one of those. You know, she kind of like met everybody. I introduced her and everything. It was very chill.
It was chill. It was interesting. Because it was a lot like, it was familiar, and that it was like the kind of sermon that was being taught was the same. The messages were the same. The songs were the same but different, and that was the most jarring part for me because they do the Christian rock versions of the same songs that I grew up with. So I'd be like trying to sing along and participate, but then I'd also feel a little alienated because the tune would be totally different. So I was like, okay, I'll just sit back and watch, I guess, because I still felt comfortable and I still felt welcome. They eat so good after every church service. Oh my god.
Yo, Korean food always a banger at the churches.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, we
Some.
it's not as lively as it was
Yeah,
before though.
because a lot of the kids grew up, moved out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then the COVID just messed up.
Yeah.
yeah, COVID
likeness,
really messed
yeah.
everything up.
Bomb.
So like, how would you? Because I'm imagining eventually you want to get into like having kids and things of that nature. So I know it's a little like far fetched, but eventually you never know.
Yeah.
So how would you raise that child up?
I don't know. I'd be pretty open to whatever they want to do. Like if they like, I would introduce them to things probably. Like I'd be like, you know, we'll like check out a church or something, and then if they decide they want to be Christian, then you know I'll support that. But if they decide, you know, Christianity ain't their thing or they want to go into something else, then I'll be pretty open to that as well. You know, I'm not gonna like, I'm not like very stuck in my ways or like how stuck in like how I want to do things. So
But that makes sense. You guys seem
Yeah.
like very open-minded people. To even date outside your race is like, you have to have a level of open-mindedness.
See, I guess you do have to have a level of open-mindedness, but it's not that different. It's still just another human being.
Yeah.
So
that too.
It's like,
So what do you have to say to the Dr. Omar Johnsons of the world who feel like the black man should be with the black woman, and that if the black man is with a white woman, he is a disgrace and a sellout, and if the white, like, how do you feel about like those type of people?
well, see, the thing is, black and white, I have some reservations about that, but black with another
Interesting.
person of color is no real thing, because whiteness specifically, like, okay, not like a European person, but like a white person who's like got the whole mentality going on, or maybe
From the Caucasus.
right, the Caucasus region.
Yes.
That I have some reservations about, because if you buy into that, there's a whole slew of other things that you now buy into,
Yeah,
and you have to
psychologically.
unlearn before you get anywhere with me.
Exactly.
So are you doing the work? Are you keeping up with the times? Do you know, like, white people have a hurdle to go through in my eyes. But at the end of the day, same thing. They're still people.
Yeah.
Like, so I can't see myself dating a white person. I've always said that. and I never saw myself dating outside of my race, but Justin's special. So,
You're special, Justin.
or whatever.
Yay. Do I get a gold star?
Yeah.
Am I the special boy?
Yeah. You're my cute
Didn't
boy.
give one. I just punch my chest. Nerd.
I'll give you one later.
All right, cool. That's all I care
Oh,
about.
that sounded crazy. Getting a little freaky.
I'm a good noodle.
Getting a little freaky. So, is it true what they say about the Asians? Girl?
What do they say about the Asians?
Enlighten us.
Is it true what they say about the Asians?
I'm a little lost here. You're gonna have to elaborate.
I want to get into y'all sex life.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
How's the sex life? Is it like, because there's a big stigma where it's like if you go black, you don't go back. You know that slogan, and then like
Okay, so several things.
Okay.
Justin and I were each other's firsts.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so cute. You guys are like
Yeah,
goals,
it's like
literally.
ideal couple. Ooh, never. Nah.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, I guess technically I never went black. So for me, I am very satisfied and happy.
I mean, 10 years.
10 years.
It wouldn't
Well,
be 10 years.
we only started having sex 3 years ago.
Yeah, just about.
Oh,
2 or
wow.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, because we wanted
That's
to wait for marriage.
amazing.
We wanted to wait for marriage.
That's not easy.
It's
and
not
You guys are
easy.
so different.
It
Like,
is. It's very different. But then,
Wow.
like, he was taking too long, so I was like, "Fuck it, let's go."
I'm working on it. Jeez.
I believe in you, babe.
Yeah, I mean, starting new work, so I'm getting there.
Do you feel like she opened you up, like, even not just sexually, but emotionally and just like.
Yeah, I like to say she did.
I've put in a lot of work over the years.
Yeah, like throughout high school and most of college, I was a pretty reserved person. Even then, I still might consider myself pretty reserved. But one of the biggest things that she's always been trying to get me to open up more about were my emotions. Because typically, like, if something goes wrong, I kind of just clam up. And then I'm like, yeah, everything's chill. Nothing's happening. But internally, I'm, like, screaming. Yeah.
And then
like,
I can see it. I sense it. And I'm like, "You're not okay."
I have-
He's like,
I have very obvious tells.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get real quiet if
"It's
something's going on.
scary. It's
Is it?
scary.
Was it actually scary?
It's scary to me because I care about you and I see you self-destructing. And that's not okay.
That's valid, I
So
suppose.
I'm like, don't do that.
But, yeah.
I feel like a lot of men are like that.
Yeah.
They're not really open.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get them to show their emotional side.
And again, I had the expectation that any man I would be with, I would have to like coax emotion out of.
Yeah, of
And,
course.
Like what I like about us is that we're really responsive to each other. So like we both hate confrontation. Like we were talking before this, we don't really have arguments because we hate having arguments. Both of us hate having arguments. So whenever there's an issue, we like to bring it up immediately and be like, okay, maybe I don't have the words for this right now, but something's wrong. Something's not really working.
Yeah.
So how do you guys handle disagreements then?
Well, I don't know. Like, a lot of the time, like, if it's like a minor disagreement, then we'll kind of just hash it out right away. Because it's
Yeah.
not like, it's not anything that we should be, like, wasting our time on.
Should we give examples? Yeah, we see a lot of disagreements as like a waste of time.
Yeah,
I guess that
like,
would be,
I don't know. I feel like life's too short for that shit.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm like, I don't know, like pizza, for example. Let's say, like, you want certain toppings, I want certain toppings.
Yeah.
We'll just be like, you know what? Fuck it. We'll get, like, 2 pies.
Yeah, we'll get to pizzas.
Like
Or
a
we'll
very
be like,
simple
this
pie.
time we'll get this, next time we'll get that.
Yeah.
We don't.
It's very lighthearted.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the more serious topics, because we have had very serious talks
Recently.
very recently.
Yeah.
We would usually, like, just sit on our thoughts for a little bit and kind of, like, process exactly what we're thinking about.
Because we know we have more time with each other. That's the point. of being in this relationship. We don't have to have explosive, meltdown arguments, because we'll always be there another day to continue the conversation. It doesn't have to become like a big thing.
And that actually makes a lot of sense. Even when you go back to like the intention of going into that your relationship, you guys wanted marriage, and that's a big commitment. So I feel like just that intention now, when you guys are like going through like your disagreements, you know that it's a longer road. It's not just a temporary relationship or it's a fling or something.
Right.
You guys know that it's a bigger goal, and it's more important for y'all to like work on it, because a relationship is work.
Of course. Yeah.
I think I like that a lot, that there's no maybe above our relationship. We both know that we're in it for the long haul. So there's no like, if this happens, I'm going to break up with you. There's no deadline, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Not unless things get really, 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 they'd have to turn south like immediately. And we don't let that creep up on us.
Yeah. We've been pretty proactive about like stopping out anything that arises pretty early. Like like we'll kind of just like if there's something that we're kind of like simmering over, we'll take our time and kind of like think it over, and then we'll like bring it up in a conversation, because I definitely feel like how you approach something is like the most important.
Yeah. We're both really big on that.
Like if you come in and you're like, you're not getting your words together, your thoughts are all over the place, you're not like articulating what you wanna say, like how you're thinking it, like then shit's gonna get bad, like real bad, real quick. But that's kind of like something that we do. Like we sit on it, we'll think about it for a little bit. And then when we're feeling a little more confident in what we need to say, or what we have on our mind, then we'll bring it up.
We also give each other warnings about like how important things are.
Yeah.
Like we had a discussion. I want kids. Justin does not want kids right now.
That's why he did that when I brought up.
Yeah, I was like,
squirming in his seat.
Yeah.
It's not like. So right now, mentally,
I don't want kids neither, but yeah, I don't know why I had to say that.
Yeah, no, put your 2 cents
Kids
in.
K.
Yeah.
Like mentally for me, like right now, I don't want kids, mostly because I kind of see kids as just another responsibility, like a big responsibility. And I feel like, not saying that she does, but a lot of people I feel kind of like have this very dreamlike like idea of what having kids is like. Like they're like, oh my god, it's gonna be great, we're gonna go to the park, and then we're gonna go get some ice cream, and
It's gonna be my dolly and everything.
But
And then
like
you're gonna have the ice cream all over their shirt,
Right.
and then you're gonna have
and all over your
to
clothes.
tell them to stop dripping the ice cream over your car. Oh my gosh,
it's like it's a lot. Like you're literally changing your whole life around, because now you have another human being that you now have to take care of, and make sure that you set them on the right path. And I think like a lot of people kind of just like don't get that. I feel like you have like a human that you're now putting out into the world. You have like a set number of years to kind of like help them, like veer them in the right direction, and not turn them into like some dickhead or like some fucking sociopath. And like that's important, but that's also a lot of like mental drain, because now you're like, how are they gonna be? Am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? It's a lot right now. Mentally, I'm kind of just like I'm just done with everything currently. But I don't want to say that having kids is like totally out of the picture, because who knows? Maybe eventually my mind will change, and maybe I will want kids
when we're more stable, because we've both had issues with like work right now and like keeping funds up. First of all, we was in a pandemic for like 2 years, and then like things have been really, really crazy for the past couple of years in the world.
Yeah.
And that's another thing to think about. Like, do we want to bring this kid into a world that is essentially on fire?
Yeah.
A lot of people are having those conversations right now. And how do we best prepare the next generation for what's to come. I want to do that. I love caring for people, and I love building people up. I want to build a family. I want to build a family with you specifically. So it's really important to me, because for me, it's an extension of us.
Yeah.
Because we have a really steady foundation. Kids, there are kids that would die, question mark, to have family that's like sturdy like that. And I feel like that's a really healthy environment to grow a child in. So for me, wanting a child is partially based off of having faith in the relationship that we built
Of course. Yeah.
and the environment we've built and what we share together, and extending that to another person.
Yeah.
But we've had this
Plus,
conversation.
your kids will come out so fire.
Oh
like,
my God.
For
There you go.
real.
Then we have to also prepare our child for like comments like that. Like, oh,
I'm
you're
just
cute.
saying, God.
You're a
They
cute
would.
Blasian. Ooh.
They would.
Like, they would be cute. They'd also be hairy as heck. We both hairy. Ooh. Poor thing.
Had to bring that up.
Yeah.
Damn.
You
Really
can cut
exposing
that out,
everything.
right? It's a tell-all.
Hello? Yeah.
Oh.
Where do you
But
see,
our
where do
kid
you
would
see
be
your
huge.
relationship though, like in 10 years?
In 10 years.
Moved in together, definitely.
Yeah.
Like right now,
That's
we're still kinda,
our
like, living
next
separate.
goal.
Yeah, that's our next
Wanna
goal.
move in
Like
together. We don't live together.
Like,
Maybe
I-
that's the secret.
I just recently got a new job, so that goal is looking a lot closer.
Full time.
Yeah,
benefits
full-time-
and everything.
Full time Monday to Friday at 20 an hour, with potential OT.
Okay.
So, you know, like an office job, you know, kind of sucks right now because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing with that.
You just started. Though.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But you know, like that's the next goal right now. Kind of just moving in together, because that's definitely an important thing as well. Like living
Yeah.
together and seeing
Having
how-
privacy. Oh my God.
Yeah, like it's gonna be very different.
I'm
'Cause-
ready.
Yeah, you're ready.
I have another question from a live audience member.
Go for it.
This is from Eli. He asks, "What is it like living in different homes, and how often do you see each other?"
God, it's painful. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it kind of sucks. Not gonna
You-
lie.
You ever get horny at 2 a.m.? We live an hour and a half away from each other on opposite sides of Brooklyn. It is so hard. And then when you're tired after work, to go to his house or him come to my house, or like he has family obligations. His sister has a son and he watches the son sometimes, and his dad might, and his dad and his mom might need him to like translate something. So he has family obligations, and I'm like tired 90% of the time because I work. And
What about Airbnb? Would you get like hotels, anything?
I don't have Airbnb money all the time.
Okay.
Like
Sometimes for like big occasions, we'll kind of like
for our anniversary,
yeah.
we usually like rent a room or something.
yeah, we'll like
Do a weekend together.
yeah,
It was-
like the last time for our last anniversary, we stayed out in Flushing for like 3 days, and we ate some good ass food. Oh my God, we had some Cajun seafood boil.
we had a good time.
Oh, it's delicious.
How do
thinking
you
about
think
the
like your relationship will change when you guys move in together?
I'm terrified to find out. Half the reason I want to do it so bad is because I just want to rip it off like a Band-Aid. I'm like, will he hate me? Will he think I'm disgusting when I have to shave in the shower? Like, am I gonna think he's disgusting? Like, our mess level is about the same. We've both been to each other's houses, clearly. So I don't think we're gonna care too. I don't think it's gonna be too bad. But I'm scared to death, actually.
What's like your pet peeve about each other?
my pet peeve with her.
Yeah.
I'm
and
always
then what's
late.
something you love about each other, and then what's something you love?
Oh,
can't stand?
something. Okay, well, something I love about her is that
You can start with the bad. Don't worry.
I want to start with the good so I can offset the bad.
Oh, okay.
She, I don't, she's like very open. She likes to like talk things out, and that kind of just like takes away from extra drama in my life, because the last thing I need is more conflict. So she's very good about, you know, like not getting on my bad side. And you know, when we talk things out, I never feel like I have to really like hide anything. I can be very open, which is a luxury that I do not get very often. In terms of bad, oh boy, let me
Oh, do you have a? Okay.
let me bring up that mental list here. Oh, her tardiness, always late. Oh my God, she'll be like, I'll be there by 12, and then she's like, at 12 o'clock, she's like, I just found my outfit. I'm headed out now. And then
12:30, I'll be like, okay, now I'm leaving.
yeah, she's
I lost my phone.
12:30. I couldn't find my headphones. My shoes were giving me trouble. And then she'll head out, be here at like 2 p.m. and then walk in like nothing ever happened. And she's like, "You still making lunch?"
Yo, you got breakfast? Oh, he's a great cook. Okay, one thing I love.
I'm so sorry.
One thing I love, I don't have just one thing I love, but he cooks for me, which is really nice, and he's really funny and really good at like diffusing situations. A pet peeve, my biggest pet peeve with Justin is definitely the way he closes himself off when he's like when he thinks he's like hurting people around him, or like he's a burden or whatever, and I want to ooh
Yeah, I have very low self-esteem.
yes
Kind of just not necessarily how I was raised, although like my stoicness is part of how I was raised. It was more just, I don't know, like mentally I'm always like, I'm not there.
oh, people don't want to deal with me, don't want to deal with my emotion. I'm like, we're your friends, we love you.
But that's extra work from them. That's where I'm at mentally. Like I've worked on it. It's not as bad as it was before.
It's not as bad as it was before. Oh my God.
Like before, like I would like if there was an issue, I wouldn't even say that there was an issue. I would just vanish.
Right.
Working on it though. Working on it. It's better. Like I'll bring it up every now and again. But
it still resurfaces, but it's getting better.
I feel like a therapist. I feel like a couples therapist right now.
Are you receiving the therapy or are you giving therapy?
No, I'm learning a lot from you guys, but then I feel like it's like therapeutic, like this conversation.
Yeah, we just have these conversations, though.
Okay.
You're just here.
Okay. I'm an extra, y'all. Fuck my show. I'm an extra.
There just happens to be a camera this time. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we can keep each other accountable. So will you say that you will never be late again on camera?
I will not. I cannot. I will not say that.
Oh my God. She's always on time for work, never on time for work.
I am never on time for work.
Okay, majority of the time you're on time for work.
Sometimes.
And then when it comes to me, I'm like, hey, you want to go grab some sandwiches?
Okay, but with you, I can relax because you're always like, oh, it's not a problem. And I'm like, he lying, but it's okay.
Mentally I'm in anguish every time.
Okay, but you didn't tell me that.
Oh, well, now you know.
Now I know.
Thank you.
Progress. Yeah, progress.
Look at that. Wow. Revelations, breakthroughs.
Do you guys like, because you guys did take so long to even like explore each other sexually?
Well, we was fooling around.
Yeah.
We just
I'm not negating that. I'm not taking that away from y'all. But do you feel like now, because you are a reserved person, as you said, do you feel like are you guys publicly, like, do you guys do PDA?
Oh, I am big on PDA.
Okay.
I love public displays of affection.
I do my best for it. I sound like some.
He tries to match me. It
like,
doesn't come naturally to him.
Like it'll be, I don't know, it's like little things that I try to like add little things here and there. Like if we're walking down the street and I notice she's like lagging behind, I'll like, you know, wave my hand back and I'm like, come on, let's go.
Hurry the fuck up. Why are you watching them window displays? You can't buy shit, you're broke.
You know, like when we're on the subway, I'll hold her hand, or I'll like, you know, like put my hand on her leg, or give her a kiss on her forehead every now and again. You know, stuff like little things here and there. I feel like back then I was a lot better about it.
Yeah, you had okay, so when we first started dating, he was more publicly affectionate, like in public spaces, and I wasn't that into it yet. So I was like, don't touch me. And then yeah, do you remember?
Yeah, I
I was
remember
like,
that.
well, I'm
I'd give you,
hanging
like, a
with my
hug.
Why
girls.
is that? Like, you're just
I think I wasn't as
uncomfortable?
because men hadn't been a big part of my life up until that point, and I wasn't that comfortable with him yet. So being physically affectionate at all was like huge for me when we first started dating. And then as time went on, I find myself opening up more and wanting him to like hold my hand or like put his arm around me. And then he's like way over there in his phone. And I'm like, come over here. Come give me. And then he's like, oh, okay, I can actually like initiate touch with you now.
I feel like
I'm
the biggest thing is always like when you stop for something, but I never notice,
yeah.
and then I just keep walking off.
He walks really fast.
Oh my god!
And I walk really slow and I get distracted easily like by like window displays and stuff because I'm a bougie bitch. So I'll just stop. And sometimes at first I literally did it to see how long it would take you to notice.
When was the worst time, or worst like moment?
I don't let you get too far because then I start feeling offended. If you get like to the end of the
And you
block
don't know
and
it, yeah, I would
I'm
feel
like,
away.
hello?
Yeah.
I'm like, where are you? Come
Okay,
back.
I'm gonna full transparency here. When I like reach out my hand to like grab your hand, it's so I don't lose track of you now.
Yeah.
And also part of the PDA thing, but mostly just to like.
Just to make sure I'm
Yeah,
still
I'm
there.
like if you stop, like I'll feel a tug on my arm, and I'm like, okay, she stopped. Let me turn around.
Would you ever bring him to like Jamaica or something?
I would love to. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I'd be down to go.
Yeah.
We've been talking about like visiting each other's countries eventually.
Yeah.
And would
I-
you be open to going to
Oh, absolutely. Korea's like fashion capital. I don't know if they have anything that fits me because
Oh, Koreans
like
are
yeah,
tiny.
they're
yeah,
petite.
they're small, but like even just to go and like watch if like Korean fashion week's a thing. But then again, that might be expensive.
I feel like the only like exception to like Korean standard is like Korean Soul Daddy.
Oh.
He's very.
Oh yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
there's this Korean actor that Justin introduced me to. His name is Don Lee.
Yeah. So his English name is Don Lee because he studied in an American university, but in Korea, his Korean name is Ma Dong Suk.
Right.
Don
He's
Say that again.
Ma Dong Suk.
Ma don't suck.
something like that.
You're getting there. It's
But-
Ma don't
Koreans-
suck.
But he's cute, and then he reminds me of Justin. That's why I like him. And then he always plays like the gangster with a heart of gold. That's his like the role he often gets cast in. So you'll see him like carrying a baby, but then like punching bitches out like in one hit, and it's great. Or he'll like be fighting off zombies and protecting the people escaping behind him. And I fell in love.
Oh God! Did you watch Train to Busan?
It's sad.
No.
I need to look him up. I'm gonna put his picture of who they talking about. Modus. I don't want to say it.
Don
Don't cancel me.
Don
I'm
Lee.
not-
Don
Just go
Lee.
Don Lee.
Dong Lee.
Yeah.
Don Lee. He's
He
great.
was in Eternals actually.
Oh, he was.
recently
He was
got
Gilgamesh.
yeah.
The big buff Asian dude.
Oh.
That was him. Yeah.
I will have to refresh my memory, but I have an
Yeah.
idea who you're talking about.
Yeah. We
And he was baking pies in that movie. I love him so much. Ugh.
You know who's fire?
Who?
Jay Park.
Jay
Jay Park.
You don't know who Jay Park is?
I know who Jay Park is.
I don't.
But he's like
I'm not very big on like Korean pop or,
culture,
like, pop
yeah.
culture and stuff like that.
nah. It would be more for me. Like his family is like they'll know. Justin himself is like
I'm very lost.
blind to all of that. Maybe that was part of the appeal too. I don't know.
What
'Cause-
I'm different from.
Well, yeah. I think that's maybe what lent you to be more accepting of someone that wasn't Korean, just because you weren't typically Korean. Like you're a bit taller, a bit stockier, a bit darker. these are all bonus points for me. But
I see.
Yeah, you are more like
Yeah.
untraditionally built.
yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like whenever you look up Korean male, it's always like the tall, slender guys.
Yeah. Like ghost white
Like
and
baby
Yeah,
faces
yeah.
and like the hair
Super-
part here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they're
And,
cute
like-
as fuck.
He's like the Brooklyn.
yeah, he's a
Yeah.
Brooklyn Korean.
I'm like yeah, no, I'm definitely like an Americanized Korean.
Yeah.
Spit me out an American factory.
Even though you're like 100%, well, as far as we know, because even
Do you feel like people perceive you guys a certain way when you go in public?
Probably. I mean,
Like, you know how, like, when you see, like, sometimes if, like, a white guy was with a black woman, like, you know, of course they're going to get stares. You
Yeah.
feel that kind of tension?
if there is, I haven't really noticed it, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty like blind to that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Like,
Also, we live in New York. It's a pretty like
Yeah, it's diverse. Yeah.
diverse.
Yeah.
Dumb question. Sorry.
No, not a dumb
No,
question.
it's a dumb question.
It's not
Just
a dumb
say it.
question.
Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Because, like, we're kind of...
Okay. How long has this been going on? Don't even know.
You guys to see the time?
We could talk about this forever. I could.
Damn!
I was gonna say, just y'all talking about the relationship and all that, that was damn.
Yeah, it is good. It is good.
If
I
you
was
want to do a
going
part
in.
2, we could do a part 2 because we didn't even touch our sex life.
Yeah, I know.
we
We kind of
didn't.
skimmed
We
through
kind of
it.
glossed over it, but
I hope this has been entertaining.
Yeah.
I hope we were.
Nah, I'm
rambling.
entertained. I didn't even know it was 55
And
minutes.
I was gonna say, is it awkward for y'all having people sit over here looking at y'all?
Not really. No.
Because this is
'Cause
not
we-
the first time I did this, but I think like from sitting on that point to have people just like literally just your audience, so you just
Yeah.
want to watch.
because we have these conversations with our friends and in front of our friends as well. So
Yeah.
the
I-
most awkward thing is the cameras.
It's helpful because we're in a relationship. We get
Aw.
feel me?
Good.
I wish you guys the best of luck.
So seeing this is just it's good though.
Yeah, yeah.
Good to see. 'Cause it shows
I always,
10 years you gotta put into it.
Yeah.
I always wish everybody the best of luck with relationships.
Yeah,
'Cause
same.
they're-
Well, give me some advice because I feel like I have your mindset.
I
When
just-
I look for men, I'm attracted to the bad boys, obviously. Like, you know,
There's
like
your first mistake.
But when I say bad boys, you don't have to you don't have to actually do bad things, okay? I just like the aesthetically look of that, like, like look like you about to fuck somebody up, but then be a sweetheart.
Right? That's cute.
Like you could be like just look.
That's cute,
like
but you also have to be aware of like how people treat him because he looks like he's gonna fuck somebody up, right? Because people are naturally gonna be harder towards somebody that looks like that. So
But I'm
he
gonna
might
soften
be,
him up.
yeah, but he might be emotionally stunted because he hasn't had anybody open with him like that.
Okay.
Probably since what, 12 years old, 10 years old. Boys stop receiving affection a lot sooner than girls do. So he might not know what to do with it.
that's a whole other bag of worms.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Like that's a whole other fucking podcast right there.
So I have to change my type. I'm sorry.
You don't
Like, you
have
don't-
to change your type,
Yeah.
but be
If I
prepared
want to be
grow.
happy in a relationship.
You need to be prepared to show that affection to him and teach him that to know how to do it to you.
Right.
You can't expect
And
somebody to come in and know how to plan this date and do. You sometimes you
Yeah.
gotta show the man to do that. That you want
I
that.
had to show Justin a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Like she said, she had to let him know what's important to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned that too. Like during the summer, I learned I have to set my intentions when I'm dating, like, and let them know it, not just think it. Cause I used to think like, yo, read my mind, like you should know, like get the
No.
vibe.
We're hardwired to be like, okay, we
What
need
you
to know
see.
what the problem is so we can fix it. We
Right.
can't. We will not know what the fuck is happening if you just go, yeah, everything's fine. And then, yeah, like, I'm just gonna slam a door or some shit. I don't
Right,
know,
like,
some petty thing here. and there.
Men don't respond to that.
Yeah, no, we'll be like, oh, okay, nothing happened. I guess the door is bugging her. Or something.
I guess the door's
Slammed this, so the door must be pissing her off. But very important.
like you've been on your game while he's a gamer, so like maybe I imagine problematic situations before they happen and solve them, and I work through my anger before it happens. You see,
that's a big thing.
it's yeah.
Important.
So like
You're very emotionally intelligent.
I am hyper. It might be a problem actually because I have a thing where like I'll stop myself from doing it because in my head I either can't work through the emotions yet, or like I'm like, oh, I wouldn't be good at that. I like I'll take things to the extreme worst case scenario before I even think of the best case scenario. So I have a very vivid imagination.
Just kind of a
sometimes. Like it has its good points clearly, but it also has its bad points. Like professionally, I'm not where I want to be.
I think the term for that was pessimistic realism.
Yeah, something
Like you're
that.
kind of like you expect the worst, not necessarily because you're super pessimistic about it, but you're more realistic about it.
Like
So-
the worst could happen.
yeah, the worst could happen. So if the
Like-
worst does happen, you're ready for it. But if the best happens, then
I'm
you're
not ready
pleasantly
for it.
surprised.
Pleasantly surprised, but I'm also not prepared. I don't know what to do if things actually go my way.
I live by this model. Have no expectations so you don't become disappointed.
I have that mentality.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It has saved me a lot of heartache, but at the same time, I feel like it should be in moderation, if there is even a way to like moderate it somehow, because eventually your outlook on life is just gonna become so fucking dim.
Right. And you gotta
Not really.
No,
you gotta be careful with it, because if you don't expect any good things to happen, how are you
It's
gonna
not
build
that.
then
forward?
It's not expecting good or bad things to happen. So you going with a blank slate.
Oh,
so if
okay.
something good happens, you're like, oh snap, something good happened. If something bad happened, you're like, oh damn, something bad happened. But I don't want to have any expectations. So surprise me.
Okay, all right. So very different from how I'm thinking about it, because my
So
thing
you're
is like expect the worst.
pessimistic. Okay.
Mine is like
Yeah,
expect
he's-
the worst, because if the worst happens, you expected it. But if something good happens, then hey, happy surprise.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like that. That's toxic. I feel like.
We're technically both like that, but I'm just a
Really?
lot better about it. Yeah.
I feel like when you do that, you're basically telling the universe, like, I expect bad, so bad is going to happen to you.
So for me, I take it a little bit further. Like I expect the worst, but I'm also like, okay, but how do I handle this? How do I make this better? How do I come out of this on top? How do I turn this into a good thing? But if I start with something good, I literally shut down. I'm like, okay, it's already good. I don't do anything with it. Like my job, like I want to start my own business. I'm like, okay, how do I start a business? Literally don't know. There's no starting point for me. So I'm just like, what do I do? But like, if I start with a guy that's like willing to work with me and is a little bit pessimistic, I'm like, okay, hell yeah, I can work with that. Any problems arise, we'll work through them, because I can see there's a starting point, right? You start from the bottom, you work your way up.
Yeah.
I don't know how to start from midpoint or a high point. So that's my fault. YouTube, hi.
But I don't even think that's pessimistic. I feel like that's
It's not
something different.
quite. It is something different. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Nothing's wrong.
Could word it differently.
Probably because you're a Scorpio.
Maybe. Because I'm a Scorpio. Yeah, it's the stinger.
Yeah.
I've turned the stinger on myself.
And because Mercury's in retrograde.
Yeah.
Virgo's in retrograde. The sun is in retrograde.
So are you guys like, do you guys believe in like astrology and stuff?
Nah. We do it for funsies.
Yeah, like it's fun to like read about it. Do we like wholeheartedly like believe in it or let it like govern our lives in any way? Not really.
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of like lost interest when all the other horoscopes had like cool animals like a scorpion or whatever, and I'm just a tittied lady.
A tittied lady.
Yeah, I'm Virgo. It's
Yeah.
the version.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a titty lady. You're a scorpion. You're a lion. Those are cool.
I'm trying to remember the Virgo sign. I can't remember it.
It's literally
It's just a
like
virgin woman. That's it.
Wow.
It's just a lady. It's just
Really?
a lady.
I'd rather be a crab. at least crabs are cool. I got pincers.
That's Cancer, right?
Yeah.
yeah, that's Cancer.
You could be a goat.
That'd be cool too. Just a tittied lady.
That's Taurus, right?
No, that's Sagittarius, I think.
Sagittarius is horse.
Sagittarius. is
Taurus is the
Taurus is
ram.
bull.
It's a ram.
Taurus is bull.
bull.
Oh, bull.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
bad.
Which one's a goat?
Fuck if I know. I don't remember.
There's an archer.
I think Libra is snake. Was it? I'm bugging. I don't know.
I know there's a fish. My sister's a Pisces.
It's a fish, like a merman
Yeah.
or mermaid. I guess.
Anyway.
How do you
Anyways.
feel about the state of like just dating in this generation?
Oh, we never got to Asian hate and BLM.
Oh snap! We just want to jump right into it, huh?
We don't have to. We could definitely do a part 2 though.
Go in the link in description. Follow all of that. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that it's Mind Over Matter, baby.
Follow Don Lee. He's amazing.
Yeah, follow everybody.
Yeah, check him out. He's really fucking cute.